Hello to you. My name is Kadzielska and this is Poland Daily Culture. And we're still talking about the greatest masterpiece of Polish literature, and that's Dead Doll by Bolesław Prus. Here with me is Julia Wilde. Again, thank you for being with us. And coming back to the fact that the doll is a portrait of a society. And we were talking about Dr. Schumann. You know that Dr. Schumann actually existed in life. There was a doctor exactly like this who just Bolesław Prus picturized in the book. He's a Polish man but with Jewish roots. So in fact he's a Jew. And that's also the fact that in the doll we have, of course, the Russians, Polish, different of aristocratic Polish, the middle class. We have the Germans and we have the Jews, who are part of the society, integrated. Because it was this time when Poland was so open and so multicultural in many aspects. And that's, I would say it's also very, very beautiful to see how lively it was those times and how different languages and traditions they experienced and how they cooperated with each other, how it also was incorporating into the daily life. Like, for example, the German diligence when it comes to keeping a shop and some element of Jewish culture and how I would say the scientific part of it.
It's very interesting, that's true. And at the same time, we can see all the frictions between different parts of society, between different nations. And I think that Wokulski is a very interesting and very modern person in a sense, because he doesn't care. Simply, he's incredibly tolerant. He's friends with Suzin, who's Russian. He's friends with Jews because he appreciates that they helped him when he was in trouble, and so on and so forth. So he has absolutely no prejudices. That's true. That's very interesting.
He's a very practical man. He goes where the life takes him in a way. Like, he captures opportunities on many aspects, especially to come through, and that's mainly also his goal to and his way to success. And he definitely succeeds financially, even though not as a scientist, as his dream was. And but also the fact that how he sees Powiśle and people living there and their conditions, and the fact that when you are born there, it's so hard for you to get out of this
trap. It's a trap, social trap, yes, and you are, well, very likely to die there, poor and just destroyed by these circumstances. Yes, that's very interesting, very true. And he tries this work at the grassroots, right? So one of the big slogans of the 19th century, and that
yes, along with the,
especially in Poland.
Yes,
right. Yes.
But also it had a point with the fact that there were so many, the disproportions between the society were massive, were huge. Those absolutely poor people in very poor conditions, and the aristocrats who still try to keep the facade, which is just empty, so empty and so untrue, and they are becoming poorer and poorer, and they don't even say it.
Yes, they are keeping the appearances, right? Trying to stick to the old ways, so to speak, right? And what is also tragical is that one of the main motives of the whole book is how much everyone earns per year, and how they are waiting for to inherit some money, and how much. And it's very scary in a way, because Wokulski earns his money, and all those upper classes just sit there and wait for someone to die or to marry someone who is rich enough to.
But it's also the goal of most of the women. They're also how they imagine marriage. Isabella imagines marriage as a transaction, and she fully agrees with that.
Oh, to some extent, because she doesn't want to marry old but rich men with the right titles, right? And so she wants, well, she knows that it's a transaction, but although she has nothing except for her beauty, she has very high standards.
Definitely.
Too high.
She wants the best deal. She wants the best deal. But other women are also portrayed like either manipulating men. Madame Stawska, who is a woman who lost her husband, she's a widow, she lost her husband in the uprising. So, oh no,
No,
The
he was accused of a murder.
Okay.
And he's somewhere abroad. And this is interesting how her situation changes because of it. Because she's neither a widow nor a married woman. She's somewhere in between.
And she needs to earn her own money.
Yes.
And she struggles with it. So there's also this element, of course, of emancipation. So women who are able to
But
work...
it's a forced emancipation, so to speak, because she has a daughter, an elderly mother. And yes, but it's not like everybody appreciates her hard work, but we know that she was forced just to survive.
Here also, but she's also attacked, and here comes the main
Yes.
lawsuit, which is the title also of the book. So she's accused of stealing the doll.
Yes.
And which she didn't steal, of course. The doll was a present from Wokulski to her daughter, which is a very similar doll, but a different one. And they need to prove it,
Yes.
but her reputation suffers.
Ruined. Yes, and besides, unfortunately, she's beautiful. So every man has a soft spot for her, and every woman is her enemy, though she's a really nice and virtuous woman, but she's the victim of her own beauty and the fact that she has no protector. So Rzecki and Wokulski, to some extent, become her
And
protectors.
it would be a good match as well. I was always for Wokulski.
I think that she's too soft for him. She's this angel in the house, so very 19th century image.
She could be
that.
Why he doesn't want the angel? That's the case. Like that's the ideal as well. She doesn't represent a different life, so that's why he doesn't want her.
I'm not sure if he wants it. I still wonder. I think that what he meant by different life was this scientific career. That would be the thing that would satisfy him, finally. And Isabella was, well, he desired her. He wanted her. He wanted to get her because he couldn't do this. So she was feeding his ambition in a way. But did he really want this love and tenderness and softness that Mrs. Stawska has? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Probably not. That's why he's a character, of course, as a romantic character when it comes to this, because he's unhappily in love and he cannot pursue it, even with all his elements of being a positivist as well. And this is Conversation about the Doll by Bolesław Prus. And we will still talk a little bit about the film adaptation of the book in the next episode. So thank you very much for being with us.